Are you okay with that?
It's always blank.
Life blank screen.
Life
I like doing
blank.
this because then it makes people think that we don't know what we're doing, and
Well, I mean, we really don't know what we're doing.
I mean,
We're here.
some of the time, not all the time, Frank. Let me take a
What
sip
year
of
is
my
it?
tea. 2025.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We just had a new year.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hit the music, and then when it gets ready to like hit that downbeat, I expect you to dance. All right?
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm gonna put us on screen right when the downbeat hits. You ready?
Upside down.
Ready? Oh no! It's a half second late.
You screwed it up.
That's all right, everybody. How the hell are we doing? Welcome to Wednesday. Big show lined up for you today. Really quick, huge news, everybody. Huge news. Let me tell you, this is the most amazing news ever.
Massive.
Big Land coming back next week. Hold on, I had where's my applause? Actually, let's go. Is it? No, it's this one.
We have to give you stickers that you can put on it so you know.
I do. I have a note.
Ah. Could have done the part one.
I know where that one is. But yeah, Big Land going to be back. So it's going to be us three. No more Big Land stank face down there. A lot of fun things already lined up for today. We're going to get to some YouTube poll reviews. We have things you didn't know. We're going to be talking From Dusk Till Dawn, Breaking Bad, Chappelle Show, the first Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony that happened back in 1986, plus 101 Dalmatians. AI has written some poems that describe television shows from 2005. I'm going to say the poem. Frank is going to try to guess what TV show we're talking about. And then, of course, we're going to wrap things up with the movie draft, and we are going with Geena Davis. And since it is just Frank and myself, we have resorted again to AI to choose the other list. So the way that the movie draft works is we're trying to build the ultimate triple feature. And we do it draft style. So once somebody chooses a movie, that one's off. That's gone. Nobody else is able to do that. And I was wondering where so here's the other thing too. So the way that I used to save all my pictures is I would save them in folders dependent on the show that we're doing. But instead, I have moved all of the movie posters to one folder with the hopes of never having to look up, like, I'll have a mass collection of them, and then all I have to do is search them, and then we'll bring it up right there. But that's what we got going on. How you doing, Frank? How's your weather in Tallahassee?
It's all right. It's not as bad. Next week, though, we're supposed to get pretty cold again.
So are we. What are you guys gonna hit?
We're gonna be in the low 20s at night and like maybe 40s and 50s in the day, to the point that they were like, you know how you have all these now meteorologists that do content? There was rumors, or there was possibilities that we were going to get like 2 to 4 inches of snow here, but that's not going to happen. I think we're just going to get rain.
Of course.
Just cold rain. So
yeah, I think that's kind of what we're looking. Although we do get snow here. In fact, we actually had snow just like it was last week. We had a little, I mean, nothing really stuck, but we did get some snow here in El Paso. But we're about the same. It's going to be in the low 20s at night, and then we'll get into the 40s, maybe the 50s during the day. And that's going to hit kind of over the weekend. It'll be a 5-day stretch. So,
and we'll use California to warm up.
California.
Too soon?
Probably.
Wow.
But it's not too soon for all the conspiracy theorists to say that they're doing, these were intentionally set so that, what was it? Oh,
UFOs.
No, it was to gear up for the Olympics.
Oh, I thought it was UFOs, and then it was energy weapons, and then it was the occult or whatever it was. There's so many of them out there. It's fantastic they get stuck in that algorithm.
And it never ceases to amaze me how, regardless of what information is out there, and I get it, anybody can post anything, but there are just some people's brains are just wired to believe conspiracy theories. I'm friends with a few of these people.
They're called fried.
I'm not going to judge them for it, but you know, let's maybe sometimes reevaluate what you're putting out on the internet. But anyway,
swift kick to the head.
Let's get to some YouTube polls here. Frank, first one. Are you ready? Would you rather be a movie star, rock star, or star athlete?
Oh. Man, I'm gonna go with movie star, but rock star is really appealing.
So what do you think won the poll?
Uh, um, Movie star. I still think people are enough obsessed with that they'd want to be a movie star. Wow.
No. And what? Okay,
Loser.
so that's not what it was. And what did you want to be?
Movie star.
So 41% of people said that they would rather be a rock star.
There you go.
33% said movie star. 26% said star athlete.
Is it just because there's no talent in rock music anymore, or music in general, that anybody can do it? That's why they want to be in music.
I don't know. I think that a lot of people believe that being a rock star is probably the easiest job. When I can tell you,
Man,
go ask Shim. It's
but
not
see,
easy.
I was thinking on the terms of like the money you'd make. Rock stars, unless you are, I guess, like Taylor Swift, to where you
Oh, you got to be
basically
top
can
notch.
make. Yeah, otherwise you're breaking even most of the time.
Well, but I
and you're
think
just
that
touring your life away.
Yeah, true. But I think that was kind of the difference between being a rock star and a musician. That's kind of like how you always said that terminology where it's like, well, she's not really a porn star. She's really just an adult
actress.
film actress. Yeah.
She makes adult content, sir.
There you go. She shows her butthole for money. All right, next YouTube poll.
Hey, you know her too?
All of them. Did you make a New Year's resolution? Option 1 was yes. Option 2 was no. What do you think most people put?
I don't, but I'm gonna go with people said yeah, because it just seems like a tradition.
A tradition? Like, what is unlike any other? Frank missing on the YouTube poll.
Oh wow, everybody
No.
said no, huh?
81% of people said no. They do not make a New Year's resolution.
Okay.
And
Good
it's
for
interesting.
them.
I was out to lunch with a friend today, and he asked me, he's like, did you make like a New Year's resolution or anything? And I was thinking about it, and I legitimately was kind of like, I sat and I thought for a long time until he finally goes, if you got to think that long, you did. I kind of did. I'm getting, I've always eaten kind of like relatively healthy over the past like 15 years of my life, but I'm going to eat even healthier. But one of the other big things that I'm shooting for, and you're going to get a kick out of this, Frank.
Oh boy, licorice.
I'm taking up hockey.
Oh, street hockey or ice?
So I started playing. I told you guys this on the live stream. I started playing NHL because it's available on PC now with Xbox Cloud Gaming. And I love hockey. I love playing the video games. And the more that I'm playing the video games, the more I'm getting into the sport. So truly, my setup here where I have like multiple screens around me, I'll be playing NHL on the screen in front of me, and then I'll have a hockey match or hockey game going on over here. So it's just hockey everywhere. So my former boss, the one that hired me down in Florida and the one that hired me here in El Paso, die-hard hockey fan. And he plays pretty regularly. He's not right now. He had his hip replaced. But he goes to the ice rink, plays on ice hockey teams, and also, you know, rollerblading. So I kind of reached out to him because I knew that he would be able to give me the best advice. And I'm like, so what would be the plan about doing this stuff? Yeah. And essentially, I bought rollerblades so I can start getting on my feet, seeing if I can scoot around on those things and not bust my face.
All right. We didn't have ice
so far,
in
so
Florida, so we were always doing street hockey, which was probably more dangerous because not only did you have to worry about having your head busted open on the pavement, if you weren't paying attention, a car might come through.
Wait, I have seen Wayne's World. Game on.
Car! That's how we were, too. Car! Yeah. You'd go and move the net.
Well, there's apparently a really nice like roller rink over on the other side of the mountain from where I'm at. And so I'm going to go check that out once I can kind of get on my legs and make sure that I'm not going to biff it. I already ordered like knee pads and elbow pads for if I fall.
Nice.
I was talking to my mom about it on the phone, and I was talking about getting a helmet because that's always the concern is if your feet scoot out and your head bounces off the ground, like that's going to cause some damage.
GTE.
But my mom was like, don't you still have that helmet from when you were did kickboxing? She's like, she's that one. And I'm like, son of a bitch, you're right. I take up all these damn sports where you need a flipping helmet.
Hey, it's all about protecting the chrome,
That's
man.
true. That's true. I have had too many concussions in my lifetime. So, all right, next YouTube poll.
3.
What amount of money would get you to compete in Squid Game? Any amount of money. Let's do this. Anything over $1 million. minimum $10 million. None, I would never compete. What do you think won that poll?
That's like where you can die in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with none. I'm not. I think I'd be happy broke with that.
And do you think that's what won the poll?
Yeah.
Yeah. 65% of people were like, "Yeah, I'm not touching that stuff, man."
There's too many variables in that I would like shake my knee when I wasn't supposed to, or do something I couldn't do, and then I'd be dead. So.
And then, blah! See ya, Frank. All right, next one. Who is the best live-action Batman? Adam West, Christian Bale, Michael Keaton, or Robert Pattinson? By the way, I will say that there's a lot of people who are like, "Where's Batfleck?"
Oh, Lord. Yeah, people love him, man.
I do think that he was a fantastic Batman, just the movies weren't that good.
No. Don't say that to the Snyder kids. They think those movies were fantastic.
They're terrible.
The best
they're,
ever.
They're god-awful movies.
They're horrible. Yeah,
they're so bad.
They're so bad. Piss you off, Snyder fans. They sucked.
All right, so who do you think won the poll on the best live-action Batman?
I think it depends on your generation. For me, it was Keaton.
Think of the demo. Think of the demo of my channel.
I'm going with Keaton. I'm not. I don't care about the demo.
I'm going with Keaton too. That's my guy, but he came in second.
It's gonna be Bale, right?
Yeah, 25% voted for Keaton, 53% voted for Christian Bale.
That's fair.
Next YouTube poll.
Snyder movies suck.
What is the best high school football movie? The four options were All the Right Moves, Friday Night Lights, Remember the Titans, or Varsity Blues.
One more time.
All the Right Moves, the one with Tom Cruise.
Yep.
Where apparently if you pause it just right, you can see his penis. Friday Night Lights. That's what Tatum says in Scream. Isn't it All the Right Moves she's talking about?
Maybe.
So it's All the Right Moves, Friday Night Lights, Remember the Titans, or Varsity Blues.
Oh, man, it's going to be between Friday Night Lights and Varsity Blues. And I'm going to go with Friday Night Lights over Varsity Blues. Oh.
No. Remember the Titans ran away with it. 66% of people voted for
Look,
Remember
that's
the
a
Titans.
good movie, but Friday Night Lights is 10 times better
and Varsity Blues,
than Remember the Titans.
Yeah, 16% of people voted for Varsity Blues, 13% for Friday Night Lights. Just 5% of my channel's old with All the Right Moves. All right, next one. Which is the better college basketball movie, Blue Chips or Glory Road?
It's going to be Blue Chips. It's got to be Blue Chips.
Yeah, 67% of people voted for Blue Chips on that one. Final one. YouTube poll, how do you prefer to watch the Super Bowl? At a house party, at a bar, by myself alone, or I don't, U.S. football is stupid? What do you think won the poll?
I've done all those except for I don't. U.S. football is stupid, and I am perfectly fine with any of them, honestly. But I'm going to think that most people would have gone with probably at their house, like a party at their house.
Like at a house party?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close here, too. 39% of people voted for house party. 31% said, I don't. U.S. football is stupid. 27% by myself alone. And just 2% said, at a bar. For me, it's completely dependent on who's playing. Like, I just ran into this when the Oregon Ducks just got absolutely smoked by Ohio State. We were at a restaurant and the game was on.
Mm-hmm.
I hate watching my teams play in public places around other people. Even if they're winning, I don't care. I hate it. It makes, I prefer, because first of all, the vast majority of the people you're going to be around don't know the sport, and you just want to tell them to shut the fuck up. But on top of that, if they're winning or losing, I like to just kind of be, okay, that's cool, fine, that's not the end of the world. But then when you're around other people, they start asking you questions and shit, and I'm like, we're not doing this. Like, just, you don't watch this all year long. Don't pretend like you're interested now. Like, I ran into that, like every Patriot Super Bowl. If they're in the Super Bowl, I want to be left alone. Like, that's it. So that's just how I am. But other than that, generally, like a house party, I think is perfectly fine.
I almost got in a fight at a bar during a Super Bowl game.
Of course you did. Which one? Was it the Buccaneers Raiders?
No. This was when this was when I was dating El Diablo. You remember El Diablo?
El Diablo.
She had tickets to this local bar here where you had to pay in advance. you had reserved seats around the bar, so it was just you couldn't just walk up and go to this. It was a bar restaurant, whatever. And where we were sitting, there were these two guys down at the other end. One of them was wasted, big dude, and he's like looking over towards us, and he does this like finger motion to my girlfriend to get her to come over and talk to him, and she looks at him, looks at me, and I was like, don't, this is just going to be problems. Don't do that. But now knowing what she is, of course she'd go over there because she was a conniving psycho bitch. So she went over.
Tell us how you really
started,
feel.
Yeah, started talking to him. And at one point she turns and gives like this look like just like the dude has said something completely disgusting. So now I have to be that boyfriend.
I was going to say, what did she think? Like, the guy was going to be like, hey, so I saw you over there, and I was wondering if you would like to take this scholarship at Florida. Like,
no, again, yeah, and again, that's who she was. She loved that stuff. So she comes back, and I go, what did he say? And she's like, I don't want to say. So I'm like, what? She won't tell me. So I get up, and I go over to this guy, and this guy is like 6'4", 250, white dude, older guy, probably in his 50s at that time. I said to him, I go, you see her over there? I don't want you talking to her. I don't want you looking at her anymore. Just mind your damn business and leave us alone. And his friend's like, oh, yeah, he's just drunk. Just don't worry about him. I was like, well, you guys just need to know. So we go back, sit down, I'm fine. And the next thing I know, the guy gets up and walks over. And he taps me on my shoulder, and he starts saying something. So I stand up, and he's basically like telling me that he can do what he wants. He used to play tight end at Florida State. He's this, that. So I'm there. I'm like sitting there going, well, shit, we're going to go. And he's probably going to take me out, but I'm going to get at least a lick or two in on this
I'm
son
at
of a
least
bitch.
biting off an earlobe.
Yeah, I'm doing something. But luckily for me, I had made friends with the guy next to me. This like 6'5", 300-pound black dude. So that dude stands up behind me. It's basically like, Are you going to do so? And there was this couple that was on the other side too. They had seen what happened, so they all stood up. And the guy looked around real quick and realized this probably isn't the best decision. And so his friend also grabbed him, and they pulled him away because everybody was about ready to jump on this guy.
Jesus.
But yeah,
yeah. So that would be one of the reasons why you do not go to a bar for the Super Bowl.
For a Super Bowl, especially with a conniving psycho ex-girlfriend or girlfriend.
There you go. All right. Well, smooth transition now as we're going to talk about things that you did not know about From Dusk Till Dawn. See,
that movie's wild.
I've never been somebody, for as long as I worked in radio, to clamor for pictures with celebrities. But this is one that I really wish I had gotten because Robert Rodriguez came into the studio one time, and I mean, he's made some of my favorite movies, and I wish I had gotten a picture with him because I could show that here, but I didn't. But anyway, From Dusk Till Dawn, it was released on January 19th, 1996. The budget was $19 million. It made $59.3 million at the box office. The script originated as a special effects showcase. The screenplay that ended up being written by Quentin Tarantino was originally commissioned by special effects artist Robert Kurtzman. That's this gentleman right here who is working on. Who is that, Frank?
That's Freddy Krueger.
No, that is a Van Gogh painting. No, yeah, it's
it is.
Is it Van Gogh that paints like that? See, I don't know. The Scream.
It is.
So Kurtzman wrote the initial treatment in 1988 because he wanted to showcase his makeup and gore expertise. Eventually, Tarantino was approached to write a script centered on vampires in 1990, and then it was actually, the project was Tarantino's first paid writing gig. Now, I'm going to apologize in advance if this next photo is blurred. There's a few that I've got for tonight's live stream that are a little on the fuzzy side because I wasn't able to find good resolution photos. But this is the best one I could find with his tattoo.
The tribal tattoo.
Designed for practicality. George Clooney's iconic tribal neck tattoo was designed with simplicity in mind, so it could be applied quickly during production. The design was a deliberate effort to enhance his character's edgy bad boy vibe, because if you remember at this time, he was transitioning from being the TV star on ER to Hollywood leading man. Mm-hmm. Everybody be cool. You be cool. I love this movie. I love this freaking movie. Next up, the titty twister. The bar. I was going to include one of the shots from the outside, but I don't want to get pinged, and I had to make sure all the ladies had their clothes on in the background on this one, too.
Almost as good as Biggins.
So the infamous bar, the titty twister, almost as good as Biggins, was constructed
better.
On two separate sets. The exterior was built in the desert in California, and it featured the giant neon sign that lit up the night sky. The interior was constructed on a soundstage in Los Angeles to allow for the intense and chaotic vampire brawl sequences. The bar's design was inspired by pulp horror and exploitation films of the 1970s. Such a good movie. If you've never seen From Dusk Till Dawn and you like cheeky horror movies, come on, man.
It's a trip.
You got to get after it.
That movie definitely starts one way and goes
it's like two completely different
really quick
movies.
in a different way. Yeah, it
is
completely different.
Legitimately, you've got the first half, which was that directed by Tarantino?
It might have been. Yeah,
Where he's,
it might
see,
have.
now I'm look like an idiot because I'm talking about this thing.
The pace of it, it might have been just how that's all done.
I can't believe I didn't bring this up, but yeah, in general, it was. I guess it was just the screenplay. But yeah, because the first half is kind of your action, adventure, crime movie, and then the second half is horror.
Yep.
Did you know Madonna was used as a ploy to get Salma Hayek to sign on to From Dusk Till Dawn?
Wow.
Hayek's memorable dance with a python almost didn't happen. She initially had a debilitating fear of snakes and considered backing out. So, director Robert Rodriguez encouraged her to overcome her fear, and reportedly he told her Madonna was lined up as a backup if she refused.
Wow, what a
scenes
swerve.
of all time, man.
What a swerve.
And finally, the film introduced new vampire lore. See, even when she turns into this, I was like, yeah, I still hit it.
It's like a snake.
The vampire design broke away from sort of the traditional depictions. Instead of elegant European-style vampires, like, we get in the Interview with a Vampire, the creatures in From Dusk Till Dawn, they're grotesque, monstrous hybrids inspired by Aztec and Mayan mythology. This unique take on vampire lore contributed to the film's cult status, blending horror with cultural and mythological depth.
Yeah, they were freaky, man. I'm not gonna lie, they were something else in that movie.
I just remember when the band switches over to the vampires, and the guitar player, it's the body parts.
Yeah.
That's the part that always stuck out to me, man. Always stuck out to me with that movie. All right, we're gonna move on.
You think about that though, it's like, especially in that time period in Mexico, they definitely would have never been discovered because you just have all these truckers that show up thinking it's a good time bar to see some boobies, and then everyone's dead and they just drive Cheech just drives the trucks off into the desert somewhere or something.
Yeah, and remember everything's also on the back end of the bar. It's that temple.
Yeah,
and that's where they have all the stuff stashed down there as well. Things that you did not know about the show Breaking Bad. I just turned all the music all the way off.
Yeah, but it's like, wow, look at that, it disappeared.
So Breaking Bad debuted on January 20th. I put 2008 here. It should be 2005, right? Let me double check.
I don't know. Never seen an episode. Sorry.
No, it actually did debut. Oh, that's right. Yeah, January 20th, 2000. I'm getting my dates all mixed up, man. God bless it. So January 20th, 2008. It lasted for 5 seasons, 62 episodes, and it finally wrapped up on September 29th, 2013. The blue meth was actually rock candy.
Ooh.
The props department worked with the Candy Lady, a local confectionery shop in Albuquerque, to create the convincing look of the drug. Cast members, including Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul, admitted that they would snack on the meth in between takes. Walter White's,
I probably would too.
Okay, so now tell me right here. Put a pork pie hat on me.
You need the glasses.
True, but that's one of, I get, there's a
What's
few
that hat
different
called?
A pork pie.
A pork pie.
That's a pork pie hat. We're going to get to that here in a minute. But I get on frequently on a lot of my videos, and people call me either Walter White or Heisenberg. One of those two. Or Eric Ten Hag, the former manager of Manchester
baldest.
United.
That's what they're. They're baldest.
So his iconic hat was actually a practical decision because it wasn't originally a part of the character's design. It was added during season 1 to shield Bryan Cranston's head from the harsh New Mexico sun during outdoor scenes. I got to tell you, I don't see anything wrong with that. The hat became an iconic symbol of Walter's transformation from Walter White into Heisenberg, representing his descent into the criminal underworld.
I get with it.
Did you know Aaron Paul was supposed to die in season 1 of Breaking Bad? In Vince Gilligan's original plan, Jesse Pinkman was intended to die at the end of season 1 as a plot twist to motivate Walter White's character development. However, Gilligan changed his mind after seeing Paul's compelling performance and the chemistry between him and Bryan Cranston. Obviously, this decision fundamentally changed the trajectory of the series.
Sure.
Science!
Science!
And you've never seen this show, Frank.
Never.
You need to see this show.
Everybody says that. I mean, a lot of those that I missed the boat on, it's like, I missed the boat. Those immigrants are gone. I'm still here.
I just figured that this would be one of those ones where
you're enjoying the new world.
You're putzing around Walmart and they got the box set on sale for like $20.
We'll see.
The pizza on the roof. So this was done in one take. So what happens in this scene is essentially Walter White, he's been kicked out of his house from his wife. He shows up with pizza to try and reconcile. She declines, and out of frustration, he has the box, and he hurls it, and the pizza flies out of the box and lands on the roof.
All right.
He did that in one take. They were ready with special effects and rubber pizzas to make this scene work. And they were prepared for multiple takes, but Cranston nailed it that first time. Now, of course, this stunt led to an unintended problem as fans would repeatedly recreate the moment at the actual filming location, much to the frustration of homeowners. I drove by there. We were in Albuquerque last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember when it was. But I told my wife, because she was there for like a class. I'm like, when we have extra time, we're going to drive around to a lot of the filming locations of Breaking Bad, and we're going to take some pictures. So we turned down this one street to the neighborhood, and by the time we're driving by it, there's a huge fence around the house to keep people out. And I don't know if the homeowner at the time was always outside, but she was when we drove by, and I was this guy. We drove by, and I'm like, don't look. Like, I don't want to be those guys. So we drove to the end of the block. We flipped a U-turn, and then as we're driving back, I propped my phone on my window so I could film me driving by it without looking obvious. And I have that footage. It was in a couple of videos that I did. And just recently, the house went up for sale. It's been listed on the market for $4 million because the owners were like, dude, we're done. Man, I can't take this anymore. And
my uncle, not to get off topic here, but he's up around where they would do the Walking Dead stuff, south of Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
And he had one time, a couple years ago, sent me pictures of some dude that was dressed like one of the characters in a bar. Like, that was what this guy was doing to make money. He'd dress up as this person to get people to take pictures of him. And you know, you could pay to get a picture taken with him. I think he was dressed up. Who was the guy with the biker?
I know. I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about because I haven't seen the show in ages. Abraham,
yeah,
I think.
Abraham, yeah, I think it was. Yeah, he like dressed up like him, but he also sent me like people would drive down and find out where the production is and take pictures of the setup. So you can do that in Georgia too.
Hey, well, there you go. Well, people don't like it, and so another big plot of Breaking Bad is the car wash, and so we went and checked that out. There's this one really seedy motel that they go to. We went and checked that out as well. So I got multiple pictures from a lot of different places. But finally, the opening credits symbolize the periodic table. The show's opening credits were carefully designed to reference the periodic table, which is a nod to Walter White's chemistry background. Letters from the names of the cast and crew are highlighted to correspond with their chemical element counterparts. So here you obviously have BR, for bromine, Ba for barium. Now, the subtle touch reinforces the scientific theme running throughout the series and highlights Walter's journey from chemistry teacher to methamphetamine manufacturer.
All right.
Can you tell that AI wrote that sentence? Methamphetamine manufacturer.
Methamphetamine manufacturer. You think AI's seen the entire series?
I think AI at this point. Haven't you ever seen the movie Her?
No, but I am quite aware of it.
So essentially what happens is Scarlett Johansson, the robot, the AI,
Johansson
just goes and learns basically everything one night. I don't know if it's over one night, but she doesn't sleep. And so that's where she breaks up with Joaquin Phoenix because she's like, look, you're just a human. You're too stupid for me. I'm out of here. And that's essentially
And I looked at your private searches and on
and
those.
gross, buddy. I want to know what's that butt stuff you keep looking up.
Why is your name Abraham Spamming?
Good Lord, Frank. Things that you did not know about Chappelle Show. It
Chappelle
debuted
Show
on January 22nd, 2003. It lasted for 3 seasons, kind of 3 seasons, really. The first 2 were the only ones that counted. And we'll get to why the third one doesn't really count here in a minute. 28 total episodes. It wrapped up on July 23rd, 2006. Real quick side note as well. Big Lan, down there below Frank, he is going to be back on the live stream next week. He and I hunted down this show on DVD. You could not find it. Because
I own it.
They weren't. I still have my copies too. I was not going to, with the amount of effort that I put in to find these damn things, I'm not going to let them go. And it was one of those situations where the stores weren't necessarily stockpiling a lot of them. There was only a few copies, so they were gone like that. And I think we spent almost a full day driving around, eventually found it, and then went and watched almost the entire series, man.
I love that series.
Oh, and I'd never even brought this up. Here you go, Chappelle Show.
Chappelle Show.
So the Rick James skit almost didn't happen. The iconic
Rick James,
iconic Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Stories, Rick James, bitch, almost became one of the which became one of the most memorable segments of the show, was a last-minute addition. Rick James was hesitant about the skit, but eventually gave his blessing after being assured it was all in good fun. Chappelle improvised much of his performance as Rick James, including the now famous line,
I'm Rick James, bitch.
After the episode aired,
I got a story.
Rick James himself joked that it resurrected his career. I always had a friend who would talk about the fuck your couch, where he's digging his feet in there.
That and the cocaine's a hell of a drug. It is. And then they rewind it. I don't know what he's talking about. What do you mean, what is he talking about? Yeah, I did all those drugs. I did all what he said I did.
Man. All right, what's your story?
So there, one of my mom's friends, this older guy, he had just discovered that Rick James sketch because I told him he needed to look it up on YouTube. This was about 10, maybe 12 years ago. And he just got really into it. And one day he comes over and he's like, man, I think I made an ass out of myself up at the gas station. It's like, what do you mean? He goes up. He had been drinking a little bit. And he goes up to grab some more beer at the gas station. And he goes in and he comes up and he puts his cans down on the counter. And he goes, I'm Rick James, bitch. And just yells. He looks down and he sees this woman there. And she's like looking at him. And he's going, thinking to himself, shit. Like I just screwed up. Bitch. And he goes, likely she started laughing and goes, well, Rick James, how are you going to pay, cash or check?
Well, good on her for rolling with it, man.
Yeah, well, because she knew it, but I was like, dude, that had to have been funny as hell to be in that.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
So the show had a unique filming process where obviously, if you've ever seen it, they would record the sketches and then they would perform and then they would play the sketches in front of a live studio audience. Now, this process would allow them to perfect the sketches ahead of time, get the audience reaction, ensuring that the humor landed as intended. And the live audience laughter that you hear, that is authentic, recorded during those screenings.
Right.
Now that's poopy. That's what I remember from Pop Copy, where he's talking about how you got to put the poop all in the bathroom.
God, he had some of the greatest sketches.
The show was beyond brilliant.
Oh,
I still remember
God,
when he's making fun of those Mitsubishi commercials.
Yep.
And he was like, all that crazy dancing making my penis soft. And so he gets another chick in there and he goes, look at what happened. And it was when her boob pops out. And so she's all dancing and and he's like, look at it. And he's like, look at my face. And he's like staring at her boob.
But I mean, you had like Bill Burr had his kind of break on that show. You
oh
had
my God, he was the one. Remember when they were out on Dude's Night Out?
That and the race
like,
draft. Remember, he was one of the casters of the race draft.
Yep.
When they were doing the Tiger Woods for shizzle.
For shizzle.
I was one of the sailors for shizzle.
So the lost third season is what we're going to talk about. So Dave Chappelle famously walked away from the show during the production of season 3. He cited creative differences, pressure, and concerns about the show's cultural impact. Only 3 episodes of season 3 were completed, and they were later aired as the lost episodes after his departure. The skits in these episodes, including some of the last stuff that he actually worked on. I don't think I've ever actually seen any of that stuff because they had Charlie Murphy and Donnell Rollins.
Yeah, hosting
as him kind of talking about the skits and stuff. Or I'm sorry, Ashy Larry, if you will.
I think I made like 2 episodes, and then after that I was like, it's not the same. I mean, that first season was so great, the second season was good, and then just him being gone, it just was meh.
Yeah. Did you know Prince not only confirmed Charlie Murphy's stories from Chappelle's show, but also released a song about it? The Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Stories Prince sketch, where Prince dominates Charlie Murphy and his crew in a game of basketball, is based on real events. According to Charlie Murphy, Prince really did play basketball with him, and yes, he cooked pancakes afterwards. Prince later confirmed the story in interviews and even released a song called Breakfast Can Wait, referencing the sketch.
Game blouses.
And finally, Chappelle's influential creative control. Comedy Central gave Dave Chappelle unprecedented creative freedom to write, produce, and perform the sketches. This trust in Chappelle's vision allowed him to tackle controversial and groundbreaking topics. This was the first sketch that was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
It was Clayton Bigsby.
The racist that didn't know he was black.
Oh my God. Again, I'm telling you, if you're watching my YouTube channel and you are not familiar with Chappelle's show, go watch it. Definitely go check it out.
Check out the skit with the white family. I won't say their name, but
yeah, yeah, that's one that you can't say.
So good.
But yeah, go watch the whole thing and go I want to sit here and tell you, like, check out this sketch. They're all amazing. And it starts with Clayton Bigsby, who is a black man who's racist and doesn't realize that he's black. Just go check.
The pimp's ball.
No, it's the player haters.
Hate.
It was the player haters ball. And one of the better outtakes from there, not an outtake, but a behind the scene moment from that, was Chappelle talking about how Charlie Murphy would get into character. If you go watch the clip before they're filming, they're in a car and Charlie Murphy's just sitting there. And the second you hear the director say roll film, he starts doing this. And it's like clockwork. And Chappelle points it out during the show. And so they show the clip where Charlie Murphy's just sitting there and they go, roll film. And he immediately jumps into it, man.
I just like that Ice-T's in that too. He's like, he's just, hey, all right, shut the fuck up.
All right, next up we have, we're going to do some guitars on this one. You ready?
All right.
Things that you did not know about the first Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees and the ceremony, which took place on January 23rd, 1986. The idea for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was conceived back in 1983 by Ahmet Ertegun. I hope I'm getting his name right. He was the founder of Atlantic Records. I should know that. Having worked in radio, I should know who the founder is. But anyway, so he wanted to honor influential figures in the history of rock and roll, from performers to producers and industry professionals. The foundation behind the Hall of Fame was established in New York City several years before the physical museum in Cleveland was built.
Yeah.
Did you know Cleveland was not the original location for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? The inaugural induction ceremony took place in New York City, not Cleveland, Ohio, where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum now stands. Cleveland was chosen later as the museum's location due to its historical ties to rock and roll. DJ Alan Freed popularized the term rock and roll there. Some other cities that were considered include Memphis and Detroit, but Cleveland's passionate lobbying and financial commitment was what helped them secure the museum.
I was going to say, how did Cleveland land that? You think like LA or, Detroit? I could see Memphis because of the Elvis connection, but yeah, I was like, Cleveland.
I would say money.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously that seems what it was. They agreed to, they outbid everybody apparently.
So
There's nothing else in Cleveland.
The first induction ceremony, again, I'm apologizing for the grainy photos. I was not able to find decent ones for this. But the first induction ceremony was obviously a pretty star-studded event. You had music legends, celebrities. Mick Jagger was there. Billy Joel was there. Keith Richards. They paid tribute to the inaugural class of inductees, who we're going to get to in a moment. And the ceremony was described as part concert, part award show with live performances celebrating the pioneers of rock and roll. Mm-hmm. The inaugural inductees were obviously spanning kind of a wide variety of rock and roll. Performers that were inducted were Chuck Berry, Elvis Presley, Buddy Holly, Jerry Lee Lewis, James Brown, Ray Charles, Sam Cooke, Fats Domino, Little Richard, and the Everly Brothers.
Yep.
I was going to quiz you on that, but I couldn't quite figure out how I wanted to do that.
Basically all the great rock stars of the 50s.
All the OGs, man.
Yeah, the ones that started it.
The non-performers were Alan Freed, the DJ and promoter, and Sam Phillips, Sun Records founder. And then early influences went to Robert Johnson, Jimmy Yancey, and Jimmy Rogers. The lineup highlighted the genre's deep roots in blues, gospel, country, and R&B. Like, that's something that I've also kind of dedicated on this channel a little bit to, is the roots of rock and roll and how it came from that right there, blues, gospel, country, and R&B. And finally, Chuck Berry stole the show. And no, it wasn't because he was farting in a woman's face.
Did he sing My Ding-a-ling?
I don't know, but have you seen that video?
No.
Have you seen that before?
No. The only one I keep seeing that shows up now is him doing the side eye to Yoko Ono when she's like,
oh, I did that one.
Murder screaming.
Yeah, I did a whole video about that where she starts singing with John Lennon on some show, and his reaction's like, "What the hell is that?"
That thing showed up in my algorithm like a year ago, and it's just like every now and then it keeps popping up. Like people discover it, and he's just like, "Ooh."
Nah, if you want to get real weird, and I'm talking about getting real weird with your life, go look up Chuck Berry fart video. I'm serious, man. I had not heard of it until it was a few years ago. There was a sports show that I watch, and they randomly started.
Is it called Pink Eye?
No, it is not. But anyway, back to Chuck Berry. He stole the show. He was one of the first inductees. He's widely celebrated as the father of rock and roll. Not necessarily the greatest human being. Like, there's a lot of things in his past where it's
a lot of those guys weren't, though.
Look who he's hugging right there.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis, man.
Yeah.
However,
a lot of those guys had problems.
Yeah. However, Chuck Berry's influence was so significant that Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones inducted him, stating, "It's hard for me to induct Chuck Berry because I lifted every lick he ever played."
Okay.
Berry later performed his classic hit "Roll Over Beethoven," electrifying the audience and setting the tone for future ceremonies.
And he stole that from
Beethoven.
Marty McFly.
Roll over Beethoven. I'm telling you, man.
You wanted to hear it's your cousin. Marvin Berry.
If you really, really want to get weird one night, look up Chuck Berry fart video. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't want to.
I'm gonna show it to you, Frank. It's gonna be weird, dude. All right, moving on. All right, things that you did not know about 101 Dalmatians. Not 100, not 102. It is 101 Dalmatians. It debuted on January 25th, 1961. The budget was just $4 million. However, it made $303 million at the box office. Now, the film introduced a groundbreaking animation technique. 101 Dalmatians was the first Disney feature to use xerography. Building up to this, I knew I was going to have trouble saying this. It's spelled with an X, X-E-R-O, graphy. It's a technique that allowed animators to transfer drawings directly to animation cells. So the process eliminated the need for labor-intensive inking by hand and made it possible to animate the hundreds of spots on the Dalmatians more efficiently. The technique actually saved the studio from potential financial trouble after the costly production of Sleeping Beauty. More on that in a moment. Cruella de Vil. She was inspired by Tallulah Bankhead. The iconic villain Cruella de Vil was modeled after actress Tallulah Bankhead, known for her flamboyant personality and dramatic flair. Voice actress Betty Lou Gerson brought Cruella to life with an exaggerated, gravelly tone inspired by Bankhead's mannerisms. Cruella's eccentric character design with her wild two-toned hair and bold fashion set a new standard for Disney villains. And we actually, when we were in Disneyland 2 years ago over Halloween, we got to go do Oogie Boogie's Bash in California Adventure. My wife dressed up as Maleficent. My daughter dressed up as Cruella de Vil. And one of the things that you do in the park is you're essentially kind of trick-or-treating. You go around and they have different villain stations set up, and you walk through a line, you collect candy, which, by the way, if you want candy, do that, man, because we ended up with a boatload. And the whole time, Cruella's up on stage, and when my daughter finally came up, she's like, and they do such a good job with it. She's talking about, like, I saw you all the way back there. You look beautiful, darling. Don't let anybody ever tell you different. Like, it was awesome. Like, an absolute blast. Highly recommend Oogie Boogie Bash. Did you know 1961's 101 Dalmatians was a reaction to Sleeping Beauty's financial losses? After Sleeping Beauty underperformed at the box office, Walt Disney considered shutting down the animation division. 101 Dalmatians was produced on a significantly lower budget. It was about half that they did for Sleeping Beauty, with a simpler art style compared to earlier films. Its success revitalized Disney animation and proved that more economical productions could still captivate audiences. Over 6 million spots were animated for this movie. The animators meticulously added spots to each of the 99 puppies and the 2 adult Dalmatians. Pongo has 72 spots, Perdita has 68, and the puppies collectively feature millions of spots throughout the film. Now, to ensure continuity, because think about this, it could look really wonky if you're not paying attention to where the spots are on these dogs. They created a special spot map to keep track of each Dalmatian's unique pattern. And finally, Dottie Smith, the author of the original novel, was thrilled with the adaptation. The book was originally published in 1956, and she was a dog lover, owned 9 Dalmatians herself, which of course inspired her to write the book. Look, we have 2 dogs right now, and they're already a handful, which, by the way, quick side note, fully integrated the new puppy with our older dog. They're now good friends. It's gone quite swimmingly. But back to 101 Dalmatians. Dottie Smith, she was delighted with Disney's adaptation and particularly loved Cruella de Vil's over-the-top characterization, calling it a brilliant addition to her story.
I'll just say, remember when they did the live-action Dalmatians in like 96 or whatever it was?
With Glenn Close.
Right, and remember that Christmas, like all these parents bought Dalmatians for their kids, and then they found out that Dalmatians weren't actually as nice as they are in the movies and in the cartoons. Dalmatians are actually an aggressive dog.
Well, it depends on the owner, but yeah.
Well, I had one as a kid. Like they're very good if they know you, but if they don't know you, Dalmatians are dicks.
They give you the side eye.
Oh, and they bark, and I mean, I had ours used to get out from time to time, and there were a few people in the neighborhood that said like he attempted to bite them. So be careful
That's when you go bite
with a
him
breed
back.
of dog.
Just fucking bite him
Yeah,
back.
yeah. Be careful with a breed of dog before you bite it. Before you buy it, but I mean, he lived for a good 11 years,
Well,
10
but
years, or
that's not,
12
I mean,
years. So.
again, that's not, unfortunately, that's not all that abnormal. Like when Finding Nemo came out, there's so many
Hmm.
people that were trying to purchase clownfish and the
Yep.
other fish from that movie. And it's like, that's not a simple fish that you just put in a bowl, you know?
I
But
saw a
unfortunately,
story
people
where
don't think about that.
somebody had got it and he didn't realize they were saltfish or saltwater fish, and
Oh,
he put
God.
it in the fresh water and it died, and he went back to like um the seller, and he's like, dude, I put the fish in the water and it died, and he didn't understand, and they had to tell him like, My man, these are salt fish."
I
You
would just
know?
picture somebody like that, though, then going and getting like a jar of salt
And
and
just
just
dumping
dumping,
it in
yeah,
there.
just dumping it in the water and being like, oh, that's good. Right?
I'm sure there's stories out there of people that have done that with saltwater fish as well.
I
Just
don't.
dump
I do
salt in
not
it.
doubt that in the slightest. All right, Frank, we got some AI poems for you here, my man.
Poems.
Poems, if you will. We have 5 of them. All of these television shows debuted in 2005, and I will give you a quick. I will give you a quick hint right now. 2 of these shows are actively still on the air, and not like syndication runs, like new episodes.
Okay.
20 years down the road. All right, Frank.
All right.
Can you guess this television show that debuted in 2005 based on the poem written by AI? Chaos brews where schemes arise, a gang of misfits, truth disguised. A bar their throne, the world their stage. Morality warped, outrage engaged. In Philly streets, their antics grow. A sunny name, but dark they show.
So that's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Debuted August 4th, 2005, and is still going strong. So far, they have 170 episodes. Is this one that you have seen?
No, but I did watch the crossover episode that they did with that show on ABC.
Abbott Elementary?
Which, yeah, that was the only episode I've ever seen of Abbott Elementary. I was just curious. I think it came on after that new Tim Allen show, so I was watching it just because of that. But I mean, it was intriguing. But no, I've never seen. I know how they got their show, how Sunny became a show, but I've never watched it in the 20 years it's been on TV.
Yeah, for anybody who we'll need to do a whole thing on. Obviously, It's Always Sunny, but the original pilot, it was about comedians in LA, and then obviously they changed it. All right, you ready for the next one?
Yep.
Can you guess this television show that debuted in 2005 based on a poem written by AI? Paper stacks and awkward stares, a boss who tries but no one cares. Pranks and love in a mundane place, each workday holds a comic grace. The electric city hums with strife, where humor sparks in office life.
Is that your is that Park and Rec? Is it?
No, it's not Parks and Rec. Man, there's people
Not
watching this
Office
right now
Space,
that are
is it?
losing their minds. What?
Not Office Space, is it?
Well,
The
Office
Office.
Space was a movie.
Yeah, no, Office.
It's
Whatever.
The Office.
I've only seen one season of that.
God, you are so weird.
I mean, I just, something's got to catch my fancy and really engage me into it. Otherwise, I just, I forget it's on.
I bet if Elizabeth Shue was on it, you'd watch it.
Oh, I would have been there. I would have been her or Ryan Gosling. We would have been there, and we would have never left.
Oh my God, if they're ever in the same thing together, your head's gonna explode, man.
You might as well just find a cemetery and bury me, because it's over from that point.
That's the high point in Frank's life.
That's it.
So
That's it. Get the
Office,
gravestone ready.
The U.S. version, it debuted on March 24th, 2005. It lasted 9 seasons, although the last ones were awful. Just don't even bother with them. Once Michael Scott left, they're terrible. 201 total episodes, and it wrapped up on May 16th, 2013. All right, Frank, you ready for the next one?
Yeah, I was gonna say The Office, but I was thinking like I wasn't sure if it actually started in like '03 or '04. That's what threw me off at
No,
first.
and
So.
I assumed you would get it because the Electric City is Scranton, which is where
Is it?
it took place. Yeah,
I was thinking somewhere out west.
nope. All right. Can you guess this television show that debuted in 2005 based on the poem written by AI? In sterile halls where lives entwine, dreams and heartbreaks blur the line. A scalpel's edge, a love's embrace, life and death in a frantic race. For years on air, it still remains Seattle's storm of endless pains. Man, you were paused there long enough. You were moving about as much as Big Land is below you.
Yeah, I had like all these different show titles go through my head, but then I was like, those weren't 2005.
So what were some of the ones that just popped into your head?
One was Nip Tuck.
Nope.
The other was Grey's Anatomy, but that was like in 99 or 2000 when that one. It was Grey's Anatomy?
Debuted March 27th, 2005. Still going 438 episodes long.
Wow, okay. I thought that was earlier, but all right.
Now, it was, Vero said Cheers. I'm hoping you're saying Cheers is in like hello, because Cheers was
Great
in Boston.
show.
But it is a great show.
show.
It's funny, too, knowing with Grey's Anatomy here with the 438 episodes. I was talking to my mom, and she recently went back and she was watching, she's rewatching like a network show that she had watched previously. And she made the comment, she goes, you forget that those shows that were like ABC or NBC or something like that, they're like 25 episodes for one season. Streaming has gotten us used to like 8.
Yep. Well, even like network television, I mean, there was a time period there where you almost had 30 episodes a year, and then it dropped down to like the 20s, and then it became like you may hit 20 or 21 episodes a season depending on the network and what they had going that year. But yeah, it's pretty interesting.
All right, next one. Can you guess this TV show that debuted in 2005 based on the summary poem written by AI? A tale unfolds through years and lore, 5 friends and laughs and love they explore. A bar their haven, their stories are spun with blue French horns and legendary fun. A father's quest his kids endure to help to find the love that's true and pure.
That's How I Met Your Mother, right? You wanna know? You'll probably judge me, but you want to know a funny thing about that?
You've seen the whole thing.
I've only seen one episode, and it was the finale.
It wasn't the finale?
No, it was the finale.
Like, I'll see clips of Neil Patrick Harris as Barney, and they'll be funny.
Yeah.
But I've tried to watch it, and it was just that formulaic, crappy, just, ugh.
I never got into it, but somebody I was dating at the time was a fan of that show, and I remember like the series finale was on, so I think I was at her house like we have to watch, so I watched it. But I mean, besides clips or people telling me about it, I had no clue what was going on in that show.
All right, final one. Are you ready? Actually, let me go back here. How I Met Your Mother. It debuted September 19th, 2005. 9 total seasons, 208 episodes. It wrapped up on March 31st, 2014.
By the way, spoiler, he did find his wife, and the kids found out that it was actually their mother. So
the one scene that I do see pop up frequently, and maybe it's because I'm morbid and all the other crap I look up, is when apparently Jason Segel's dad dies in the show. It's very sad.
See, I had no clue. I just know that the chick from American Pie.
Alert!
The chick from American Pie is in it. Colby Saunders, who then went on to do the Marvel stuff.
Yep.
And completely got her character killed off in that Invasion movie, which was a crap series. Spoilers. But she's no longer in the Marvelverse. She's dead. Oh, she did.
They all come back, dude. Iron Man died.
She's not. She's such a low character that I worry about bringing her back.
All right, final one.
Gone.
Can you guess the? Hold on here. I lost my music. Where's it? Can you guess this television show that debuted in 2005 based on this summary poem written by AI? A flag-waving man with a rigid stride, a secretive guest he's forced to hide. A swimmer's voice holds a foreign past. In suburbia's chaos, bonds hold fast. From awkward moments to plans gone mad, a satire thrives where nothing's too bad.
One more time.
A flag-waving man with a rigid stride, a secretive guest he's forced to hide. A swimmer's voice holds a foreign past. In suburbia's chaos, bonds hold fast. From awkward moments to plans gone mad, a satire thrives where nothing's too bad.
Breaking Bad, is it? Are you playing into that?
Oh wait, no. No, remember Breaking Bad was 2008.
Oh. I'm lost.
This show is still on the air. Started out on Fox, has since moved over to TBS.
Oh, cartoon, American Dad?
Yep. American Dad debuted February 6th, 2005. Shipped on over to TBS, and it currently sits at 377 episodes. Yeah, Vero says that, whoa, I must be on an extreme delay over in the YouTube chat. Yeah, you are way behind. Because she just said Grey's Anatomy, and we're already like 3 past that. But yeah, so there you go.
My name is Roger.
My name's Ron. That's a good show. I enjoyed it.
I like his character when he does. I love that one episode they did where like they go in the future because he went into the collider and it started splitting out his personalities in which they all destroyed the world, and then they come at the end and collide and they're all fighting to save, and it's like, I'm Rick Spandelson, and it breaking into all the different characters that he was.
All right, let me see here. I need to go back and I need to find my, let's go in here. Need to find my my list. All right, you ready, Frank? Final segment. Here we go.
Listy list.
Geena Davis.
Geena Davis.
Do you know what her full name is?
Geena Louise Samantha Davis.
Virginia Elizabeth Davis.
So close.
She was born on January 21st, 1956. We are going to do a movie draft of Geena Davis movies where we're trying to build the ultimate triple feature. We're going to do it draft style, so Frank will go first, I will go second, and then I'm going to ask AI for its choices, and then we're going to go back and forth snake draft style. Once somebody chooses a movie, that's it. It's off the board, and that's all she wrote. So, Frank, what is your first Geena Davis movie?
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I'm gonna stick with Beetlejuice. I think that for me is probably one of the premiere movies that she's in, and I gotta go with that one first. Even though I know there's gonna be another one taken, I'm gonna go with Beetlejuice.
Yeah, so you're taking that one, which means that I get to jump all over what?
You're taking A League of Their Own.
Hey, goddamn right I am, buddy. A League of Their Own. Hey, cowgirl, see the grass? Don't eat it.
Don't eat it.
All right, so Beetlejuice and A League of Their Own are off the board. Now, old AI over here gets to go back to back. Number one choice for AI still on the board. What do you think it has?
Tootsie?
No.
Of course. Thelma and Louise, the Brad Pitt vehicle.
With his hair dryer.
Cowboy hat.
By the way, if there's a movie that we don't get to, or if you think that we're choosing wrong here, let us know down in the comments.
We don't care anyways. You're wrong.
Yeah, we don't care. Next up is going to be, let's see if I can find it here, The Accidental Tourist.
Never seen it.
Neither have I, which is why I'm glad that we give it to AI.
Wasn't that the Johnny Depp movie that came out a couple years ago?
The Accidental Tourist?
What was it? The one with him and Angelina Jolie, the whatever tourist. It was like supposed to be the sexiest movie of the year, and it just completely bombed. Like it came out like 12 or some odd years ago. Oh, I can't remember.
No
Something
idea.
Tourist.
No idea. But I am gonna go here. I'm trying to think of what you're gonna choose. I'm thinking long and hard about this.
Stuart Little.
But there's one movie like. I gotta go with The Long Kiss Goodnight, man.
All right.
Such a good movie.
Never seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
Highly recommended. All right, Frank, so now you get to go back-to-back to wrap up your triple feature. What are you going with here for Geena Davis?
Well, the first one I'm gonna go with Hero. I don't know how many people have seen this one with Dustin Hoffman. It is
Good
a
movie.
fantastic movie. Deals with I don't want to give too much away, but it's like Dustin Hoffman, there's a plane that crashes. Dustin Hoffman is basically looking for his shoe, and it becomes a problem that this plane has crashed when he's trying to find his shoe. He gets the people out the plane, but then tells his story to Andy Garcia's character, who's homeless, who then proceeds to take the publicity of actually saving the people from the plane.
I like how you're just like, I don't want to give away too much, and then you just basically gave away the plot.
Yeah, I mean, I started thinking it's like there's no real shock turning to it.
Yeah,
It's
go
just
check it out
kind
though.
of
It's a good one. It's a
good one.
All right, what's your third movie?
Now, I already picked Earth Girls Was Easy a couple weeks ago with Jeff Goldblum.
You did?
So I'm gonna
You
go with
could,
another one of.
Do it again.
I'm gonna go with another one of Jeff Goldblum's movies. I'm gonna go with The Fly.
There you go.
And you want to talk about one of the grossest scenes of watching something completely fall apart? Check that one out.
Yeah, not good. All right, then I'll swoop in. I'll swoop in with a little Tootsie on that one then.
Tootsie Roll.
And then we're going to wrap things up here with the old Chat GPT. And on their list, Thelma and Louise is gone. A League of Their Own is gone. Beetlejuice, The Accidental Tourist, Long Kiss Goodnight, Tootsie. So they are wrapping up with, what do you think?
Cutthroat Island.
Quick
Oh,
Change.
what is that? I've never even heard of that.
Bill Murray, Geena Davis, Randy Quaid. I think I may have seen this movie.
I didn't even know it existed.
I get this and Shakes the Clown mixed up, I think. But anyway, so there's your triple features. Geena Davis celebrating a birthday, January 21st. She was born in 1956. Frank's triple feature includes Beetlejuice, Hero, and The Fly. My triple feature, A League of Their Own, The Long Kiss Goodnight, and Tootsie. And then ChatGPT got Thelma and Louise, The Accidental Tourist, and Quick Change. And on that note, that's going to wrap it up for our live stream for tonight. Big news, big land. Returns to the live stream next week, ladies and gentlemen. I kind of feel like I need to do the whole big, where's the winter music that I have? So definitely be looking forward to next week's live stream. Again, we got a lot of stuff in line. I'm really enjoying doing these AI poems where Frank is going to have to guess it. Obviously, we're going to include Landon on that stuff as well. We're celebrating movies. Oh, Frank, by the way, quick, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Have you looked into the movie club stuff at all for me?
I honestly have forgotten. You're going to have to remind me so I can do this.
So what I wanted to get this going like right at the beginning of 2025, but things got busy and I knew Frank would forget. But what I want to do is I want to start a movie club. Anybody can be like follow it where every week I'm going to recommend a movie and you can watch it. You don't have to. It doesn't really matter. But the point of the movie club is maybe I open up a subreddit or some sort of a channel that people can join. Like being a member. If you're a member of my YouTube channel, you should get stuff, which totally reminds me as for like Javi. Javi's we got these sticker packs. I got to get him his sticker pack, man. But then the whole goal is every single week, whatever movie I recommend, I'm going to find either a piece of memorabilia or something linked to the movie. And everybody who's a member of the movie club is entered to win. I'm going to pull a random name out every single week. And then whoever gets chosen is going to get that prize, whatever the prize may be. I found something really, really cool for the first movie that I've got lined up as well. So make sure
involving Elizabeth's shoe.
So it is not. No, it's Elizabeth's shoe.
Ooh,
it's her shoe from Adventures in Babysitting.
Fantastic! I'm on board.
So that's something that we're going to be working towards here. So let me know if that's something you guys are into, something that you guys want to do. I'm still trying to figure out the logistics of it. I'm trying to get Frank to help out with this. So bug the hell out of him. Message him on Facebook, on Instagram. Tell him to get off his ass to help out with this stuff. Because I'm telling you, like I found something really, really cool for the first movie that I'm going to recommend. And I'm going to buy it. And then essentially, because the advantage here is that as my channel has grown, you make money on the advertising. And so what I want to do is I want to be able to put some of that money from all the views and stuff back to you guys, the ones who are supporting the channel, the ones who are liking and subscribing and watching all of my content. And so the more that we can get, the better stuff that I can give to you guys. And I got something really freaking cool lined up. Just tell Frank to get off his fucking ass.
I forget a lot.
Yeah, he does. But on that note, have a great Wednesday, everybody. We'll be back again next week with Big Land.